So what are they? So you have data analytics on the back end to help you measure the ROI of your activities. Okay, so there are activities that you do, there are emailers that you send, but who's going to open it, right? How do you know who opens it? How often do they open? And what sort of content do they like to read? What do they usually click on? What are they most interested in? Do you know that? Okay, so if you do not have a marketing automation tool, you are unable to measure them. So what if you send them an SMS or WhatsApp and you can't even measure the ROI? So that is really important. And the next thing is personalization. Personalize your messages to the people who are interested in your messages. Okay, so if let's say you are providing a service, so some of you are into sports, right? And then you have multiple lines of business, for example, or different sectors that you target. Okay, so maybe one sector that you target is in the sports industry, another segment that you target is in the health industry, another segment is F&B industry. You can't be sending them a general email. Or if you want to increase your conversions, you probably want to send something that the sports people like to read, send something that the F&B people like to read, or the health people like to read. And that helps you to increase open rates. Okay, so that is the whole purpose, to help you increase your conversion. Okay, so next up, it lags once in a while. Give it some time. Okay, so marketing automation tools. So these are just some of the tools that you can, possibly use. Campaign tools. This is just some of the brands, but there are many brands out there, and it's supposed to help you. So you could just do your research and do a comparison and see which one suits your budget. So what exactly is social analytics? So I'm going to move into that. Okay. This is a tool where, or a tool or platform where you're supposed to understand or analyze the engagement of your customers, okay, or people who are following you. What is their engagement level? Okay, you're supposed to analyze that. So what exactly is it? Okay, so some of you are using several things like Facebook, LinkedIn, and then your Instagram, right? And then some of you might have YouTube channels. How else to manage them proper? If you don't have an analytical tool, how do you know what works, what doesn't? Okay, and what kind of content would interest them? So essentially, social analytics refers to the act of gathering and directly interpreting social media related data so that one can actually gain a better view of the market conditions and conduct proper market research. Number two is you understand your target consumers better and gain some insights from it. And with that, you learn more about the preferences of ideal audience, and you can collect feedback as well. Okay, so with that, why is it so important? Because with social listening, you're listening to what your customers are engaged with. Okay, certain posts would resonate with them and they would more likely be engaged. They would like your post, they would say something, and then you know that that kind of post is something that they like, right? And certain posts, they just don't react to it. Why? So it helps you understand better what content works and what doesn't. So businesses can actually extract a lot of valuable insights by focusing on these signals, okay? Because there's so much noise out there in the social media world. So you need to decide and strategize on your future content posts that matter to your audience, not what matters to you, but what matters to your audience. So these are just some of the social analytical tools that you could use. You could do your research from Zero Social, Sprout Social, and many others, which you can use to analyze. And the whole thing is, what do you want to analyze, right? What's analytics, right? At the end of the day is you want to understand what is the level of your brand health. How healthy is your brand? How do you even measure that? That's just one of the ways that you can measure. There are many ways to measure. There are a lot of metrics, so I will not cover everything. Okay, I'll just cover just the key items. So brand health is defined as a measure of how well a company or brand delivers on certain attributes of a product or service that it promises its customers. So how these attributes are perceived by customers. So you may think that you're doing the right thing. You've been posting regularly and you've been so diligent in doing your videos, your posts, your images, and then you post it up. But without measuring our brand health, you don't even know whether it works, whether is it effective, is it something your audience would like. So how would you measure brand health? I mean, this is just an example I pull out. I mean, this is what we are using. So it helps us understand every day when we do our posts what works. And in different kind of social media platforms, you see different results for the same post, and that's because the demographics are different. So you need to understand the demographics of your audience in Facebook versus Instagram versus YouTube versus LinkedIn. They're all pretty different. So you need to customize slightly for your audience, be it the message, be it the kind of post that you're going to post. And with this social listening tool, it helped us a lot. Why? Because with one single click, it goes to all channels. It's multi-channel. I mean, if you've got any questions about it, you could ask me later. I could advise you accordingly. So on the right hand side, we've got live stream as well. So you know who actually commented. And people might just drop you messages. And imagine if you run multiple brands and if you run on various channels, how are you going to manage all of them? You're going to go to individual ones, right? So this is so much more effective. So with just one click, it goes out, and in the summary, you'll be able to see who comments on your post and on what channel, and you could reply to them. That's the beauty of going digital, okay? So in summary, so we have covered a few key things over here. What's marketing automation? Why is it important? The social analytics. This is some basics for you. Okay, the brand health, how to measure, what are some of the marketing tools. So next up, we're going to head straight into the fireside chat with Andrew right now, where you could ask questions later, but we've got some questions for him. Okay, so you could also type in your questions in the chat as well if you've got any. And then when we end off, we could do the networking and specific questioning later. All right? Okay, so let's welcome Andrew. Hi, Andrew.
Hello, everyone. Hi, Renee, everyone. How you are? There's a Mr. Cool there from Zoho. So Zoho too, right? I speak alongside with their marketing director, I think several times. Yeah, he's an Indian. I can't remember his name now.
Right. Okay, this is great. I mean, you'll see some familiar faces over here as we go along. So, Andrew, first question is, for SMEs, right? They're so manual in their processes. Okay, so there's a difference between computerization and digitalization. So there's this misconception that I'm using a digital tool. I'm using Excel sheet to manage my leads. Why am I not digital? They don't understand or be able to differentiate between computerization and digitalization. And it's taking some time to educate SMEs as we go along, in these areas. So what do you think are some of the strategies you think, for SMEs to adopt, to take baby steps to get there, to be digital?
Okay, so it's an excellent question. First of all, I'd like to further qualify that question. I think using an Excel spreadsheet, it's already digitization, but to achieve digital transformation, Excel is not going to cut it. So, of course, digital transformation is embracing the lifestyle holistically. So you need to make sure that this list of Excel email is into a very basic CRM like MailChimp, convert kit, which is the entry level for a lot of SMEs. Okay, so don't invest a lot of money on very sophisticated system where you use 5% of it. Rather, you should start small with certain system that helps you to segregate your contacts, subscriber, different groups and different segments. So if you can do that, that's already digital transformation. Now, there's another level higher than that. That is called disruption. Disruption is really cause you did it so well that you cause a problem for all your competitors. So getting your Excel spreadsheet list, whether it's a Google Sheet, into a system where you do further grouping and segmentation, it's the first step. You need to think about these three things whenever you think about automation. Marketing automation has three parts. First part is the intelligence gathering, data gathering. The second part is the workflow. The third part is really the analytics. So there is an input, there's a process, and there's an output. So the output actually decides how well you're going to collect more data later. So you have to understand that before automation begins, you got to be agile. So make sure that you have all the raw material ready and you know where all your leads coming from. So for example, if your leads are coming from an e-commerce site, then I think don't use MailChimp, get response will be better because they are geared towards working with e-commerce, right? And if you graduated a little bit more and you do a lot of chatbots, you create blogs, you want to enhance your team, you have a team of 5, you want them to work together, then maybe invest in HubSpot, which is like a giant powerhouse, right? So it's not just a matter of getting it onto a system, but also make sure you have enough work to automate, because if your database, for example, is anything less than 2,000, then I think use an entry level one. Anything above 5,000 to 10,000, I think is mid-range. Above 10,000, email, which is actually you have a lot of data, you know where they're from, you know occupation, you know industry, then it's worthwhile to invest in a system that's gonna cost you almost $1,000 a month. But I want to end up with this. If you are a startup, you can apply for a special grant that only pay 10%. So instead of $800, right, you are paying only like $80 a month. All right, for a full set of system that helps you to automate your workflow. Yeah, so I hope I answered that question. Number one, you have to know where are your leads from. Number two, you got to make sure that you have enough work to automate, because if you don't have enough workflow to automate, then the automation actually costs you more work. All right. Yeah, so I don't talk about analytics first because I think subsequently we can address that. So yes, this is my question to the answer. Sorry.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay. So how do you think that SMEs could actually, what would be the steps for them? So from Excel sheet, right? What should they take note of? What are some of the things that they need to take note of before they go into a digital platform, a software, so to speak, that they're so unfamiliar with, right? What should they prepare? What should they have at the back of their head when they do their planning? Okay, so a lot of things got to do with their planning first, right? Then you know, okay, what kind of information I need from my customers? What kind of information should I be tracking? And then what kind of results should I be expecting, right? What's your thought on this? Yeah.
So, whether or not your business is global, I think you should start collecting database regionally. So I think besides name, first name, last name, email address is a default. The industry, the company, the mobile phone, and the country they're from are all important, because you may want to target location. Next time, you may want to target industry. You may want to target a certain level of destination. So if you have all this already in place, then it's great. All right. Having said that, there are a lot of software, there are a lot of system, even social media platform that already has the analytics inbuilt into the network. For example, LinkedIn. If you subscribe to LinkedIn Sales Navigator, it's a wonderful tool where you can every day you can generate leads based on company size, based on level of experience, say seniority. all these things you will never ever be able to collect, no matter how good you are with campaigning. But LinkedIn has the size, has the critical mass for you to pay a subscription and then go in there as a playground. You generate different searches. So number one is to make sure what information, what fields do you need. So Excel spreadsheet has a lot of column, right? So make sure that whatever you do, you want to design a landing page, you need to have all those columns. You want to do a webinar, you have all those same columns so that when you input into the same system, they can match the field easily. And that's number one. All right, the first step. Number two is make sure that you have a double, or you make sure that people really agree to be on your list. So you can easily do it on webinar and easily do it on landing pages, double opt-in. All right, have a confirmation that this is in fact the person's email. These are the two things that you need to take note of. So I have one saying for you, that is that always collect more info that you need, because you don't know when you're going to need them. So don't collect info for the now, collect info for the future. And there is no better time than do it now. Now is the best time to do lead generation. So the first thing you worry about is lead generation. All right. Number three is to decide on what kind of content people want, to make sure that people come to you like a magnet, and then they opt in, and then they tell you that they want a further action. So I give you an example that I've done recently is that I do a series of webinar. Of course, they come in, they sign up, and then I have my slides. But I put these two together after the webinar with the video and the slides and all the other speakers' slides. I transfer it to a learning portal, and I give them a second email. All right, a second round of email. For those of you who want to enjoy the learning and continue with assessment and quiz, you go to this portal. So I have a level 2 automation. These are the serious people, right? The first one only wants to learn, only wants to come, but I don't know whether they want to further engage with me or buy from me or not. Then I have a second wave. So I make sure that continuously my content is being repackaged, repurposed onto another objective so that people can follow me. I make coming in easy. As I go on, I make it more difficult, so that at the end of that funnel, I know that these are the very people I should market to. So just because you collected 5,000 names or email doesn't mean they will all open the email. So I want to ensure that the open rate means the how many people click on your email. 1,000, how many people click, right? And then the click-through rate. It means you click open my email, I have a link. What is the percentage? And that is a true measure of automation, just on the intelligence part, on the data collection part only. All right. So I'm only talking about email and webinar. I haven't talked about e-commerce. I haven't talked about blogging. I haven't talked about even some L&D tool like Google Classroom, which is excellent. If you are in some kind of training, even if you are not in training, please make sure that you do your content like a mini course. Okay, like a bite or even mini nimble course, because people tend to accept something like a course I can take.
Educational.
Yes, make it educational so that they feel that I have gone through a journey. Now, if you send them a newsletter, you send them a video series, they still feel that they are being sold to. So remember, right now in COVID, the keyword is learning new things, learning how to be new normal. So why not turn your lead generator into an educational process? To be honest, I can share to you this. The last 3 weeks, the email addresses, the quality of database I've collected is as much as what I've done in the last 3 years. So can you imagine, the last 3 weeks, I've collected as many emails as I did in the last 3 years. Why? Because people are very hungry for information. So if you have e-commerce that sell ladies product, why not do a series of content that educate women how to select the product according to their needs? And that is better received, because that alone, you can lead your e-commerce site rather easily. So we have one lady here just now who say they're in the e-commerce. So I can share this, I can share this kind of strategy with you. There are many strategies. Automation only handle the efficiency part. You still have to make sure that you're effective in getting people into that funnel. If you don't know marketing, you don't know the essence of marketing, whatever automation you use won't help you. You only give you more work. All right. So sorry, I'm a very straight talker. I prefer to be very frank. I think Renee has done a lot of work for me by giving you the framework. I just tell you story from the trenches. All right. I hope you
Yeah. Yeah. And it's also very important that whenever we have the leads, right, we need to track their actions. So say, for
Mm,
example, you're selling clothes or shoes, and they may not buy on the first instance. You may send them an EDM on something, and then they read and they click. And it's important that you look back into your reports and understand what actions they took. What do they usually click on, right? Is it content that they click on, or is it a buy here, to click on, or what? To understand, what sort of actions to take in your future collateral that goes out to them as well. So there are stages. So you need to always nurture your leads. So how do you nurture your leads? Nobody likes to be sold to. Nobody likes to be sold like, okay, this 50%, buy from me now. Now, why aren't you buying from me? Don't always send advertisements out, right? People want to be educated. So like what Andrew has shared, people love educational content. They want to learn how to. And then from there, you build trust and credibility of your brand. And whenever they need something, you are at the top of mind recall. I think that's really important. Yeah. And the other thing that you raised a really good point, Andrew, about this is the best time to do lead gen. I kind of agree with you because on LinkedIn, we are in B2B business.
mm.
We have never seen people so receptive to connecting with us, right? So quickly on LinkedIn. Like before, it takes a while, right? People don't check on LinkedIn that often. But right now, everyone's on LinkedIn, they're online. So it's so easy to just do your appointments. Before we need to go outside of the house to meet people, we need to call them, cold call them. But right now, it's all digital, right? You just drop them a note, you set up a Zoom call, and here we are. Okay, so I think, Andrew, you wanted to share something? Yeah.
I want to share two more points. That is that the time factor. One day now in the circuit breaker, or as long as we have a COVID problem, one day now is like a 1 week in the past. If you have 1 week now, it's like 1 month in the past. If you have 1 month now, the whole circuit breaker is 2 months. It's like 1 quarter. It's more than one. It's like half a year or 1 year in the past. So whatever you do, you gotta do it fast. I've never organized a webinar more than 10 days to go. A lot of webinar are done 7 days before, and there could be 100 over people coming. So that is one. All right. Number two, I want to go back to the point that how do you qualify a lead? How do you nurture them? Try to invest in a system that able to give you a lead scoring on your leads. So for example, let's say people who are in your subscriber list, but you send them email, and after 3 times, you realize they never open your email, they trash it. So they have a score of 0. All right. Their potential is 0. They won't buy anything. If some people open, but they don't click on it, maybe it's a 1. If you open, click, it's a 2. Open, click, stay in that site for a while, it's 3. And they bought something, is 4. Buy something else with 5. If you are able to assign a lead scoring to this contact, your life is so much easier. You know what messages to send to these people. And this is the very, very last one we call segmentation. In fact, it's higher than segmentation. So we have contacts, you have subscriber, you have groups, or are interested in different things, and then the segmentation, different needs, and then different willingness to buy. So can you imagine, you need to think about the customer journey. Don't always think about campaign. People never buy because you have a campaign. People buy because of their agenda, and you need to think about their agenda. What do you think they need right now? Job security, all right? They're not going to think about beauty so much because they don't go out a lot. So what is it that they need? Sometimes you got to step out of your business model and do fringe event. Fringe event. You may need to collaborate with other people. Okay, today is about being Avengers, Spider-Man, Iron Man don't work. They die already. You need to partner with some people like a panel, then your webinar will be successful, then your event successful, then your teaching classes will be successful. So I can even give you a code right now, all right, I can even give you a code right now to enter my Google Classroom, and you can click on all the links of automation. All right. But because this is Renee event, all right, it's not so good. All right, unless all of you want it. I only give you, or I don't even need your email. I don't want to spam you. I just give you a code. You just go in and you take a look. Why I create all this? Because the night before this, I understand it is very difficult to come up with course after course. So why not I gather the best material in the marketplace and make them into a course by module? Then you can digest better. So at the end of it, if a lot of people want it, just comment, and I will just copy the code to Renee and up to Renee to share to anyone who asks her. All right. So I'm not going to share openly. All right. I'm not going to do any lead gen on somebody's event. That's not my style.
Sure.
I'm not here to sell anything, but I'm just here to sell knowledge. Two things before I end. I know I'm very chang here. Sorry. Before COVID, I always market my brand, and so did you, right?
Yep.
During you need to brand your marketing. That means whatever marketing you do, you gotta market your empathy, market your care, market your big heart to people. It's always about caring, because your customer are suffering, and if you offer some help, they're gonna remember you. This is not a time to push them the latest offer. All right, because people are worried about their job. They have high overheads. I'm sure every one of us, including me, we are affected by this crisis. Nobody planned for this. This is the ultimate disruptor. That means to say a lot of things in the past wouldn't work at all. All right. So yeah, thank you. Back to you, Renee. Sorry.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Okay. Any questions from the floor? I mean, please feel free to type, or if you like to speak, feel free to post your questions, right? So so it's important that you track your activities as well, and make sure that your automation tools are linked to your other touch points. When we say touch points, could be things like your website. So if you have a website, your CRM should be able to detect the leads from the website, the landing pages. So the leads comes in, the names, job title, company, or whatnot, right? It goes into your CRM system, and they're immediately being tagged. And these people are being tagged based on, okay, these people comes from, they subscribe to your blogs, for example. And then following on whatever content that you post to them, you need to tag certain things. Like you got to tag maybe certain links that they click onto, and then they're being tagged. So you'll be able to see, and also the scoring, lead score will be able to tell you how active this person is with regards to whatever that you've been sending. And why I say that you got to link these tools together, be it your website, your e-commerce store, together with your automation system, is because then it's also good for you to know why a person goes to your site, always clicks to your site, but never buys, right? If the person buys, you'll be able to tag them. And then what they buy, you should be able to profile them, right? And then if you realize, hey, there's a group of people who just don't buy, but then they always click in, then this gives you insights. Is it something wrong with your e-commerce site that it doesn't allow them to purchase? Is it the UX? Is it the UX user experience that's not good? They can't find the buy button, or they can't find a way to transact, or what's going on, right? And then you could send them a very targeted post just for this group of people who have been, they have very high lead scores, they've been clicking in, but they just don't buy, right? So send them a message wherein, I've seen that you are being very active on the content. If you have any information on your purchase, please feel free to whatever, right? Contact us if you need support. Customer service is key. At the end of the day, the whole business model, the whole business structure, customer service, sales is still very important. It's not like you have automation and you neglect all of these, right? There is a question, Andrew, from Evelyn. She would like to hold a webinar for her family business in steel industry, but not sure how she should start, because the company always runs in a traditional emailing way, which is very common. And they don't even engage with marketing agencies. They don't even have a marketing team, right? Is there a way to find out what topic will attract people in my industry? What is your advice on lead gen strategy to my webinar?
So before that, I need to ask, what kind of steel industry? Are you the steel mill in Singapore? Are you the only one that produce steel, or you are reselling steel? Are you importing or are you repurposing steel for some products to be sold to some construction? I want to know which level are you in. Not that I'm expert in that level, but I need to ask because I have one or two friends in the steel industry and they tell me it's a very different business. All right. I know somebody in HE Metal listed company. I don't know whether they're still listed, but I need more information evening. So if you can type in, all right, then I can talk to you. Or maybe you're from HE. Are you from HE Metal?
No, no,
You
no,
could
no.
speak.
Yeah. I'm actually from Pentec Group. We are also listed, but in Malaysia. I'm actually helping my dad, but I'm actually in charge in the Singapore side. We are actually manufacturer and distributor. So we supply, we manufacture pipes and fittings, but for valves, right, we are distributor for the big brands.
I see. Okay. So I think B2B webinar it's the way to go. The size doesn't matter because it's a small community anyway. 30 to 50 people will be a very, very good benchmark for you. So what you need to do is besides you talking, I think you need to find one, two or three of your best clients to come and form a panel. All right. Maybe talk about how are they pivoting their business. Number two, how are they selling to others? So you got to get people who are not selfish and keep everything to themselves. And whatever you want to do, you are the last speaker. Please don't be the first speaker because you are the first speaker and people are saying, hey, I come all the way and then I hear you trying to sell to me. They want to hear from people on the ground how they do it. So if I'm a trainer, I want to hear how another trainer try to evolve their business. I'm very interested, right? And then maybe I will look into somebody who try to sell me a learning portal. Maybe I'll listen because I heard somebody say it's good. So you have to get the message out, but you got to find your messenger. Your messenger is not you. Your messenger are the three best clients who are willing to share. And then the marketing, very important. Marketing, ask them to invite their customer to come in because you are B2B, right? Don't forget, B2B to C is also important. You are doing the marketing for the other B. You don't do marketing for the other B, why should they buy from you, right? So this is how you think about when you think about webinar, you are thinking about a content strategy. Don't forget, you are creating content. And you know what's the best thing? Please record the webinar. Please have the right caption and so on. And you will need to translate that in another language. Go to another country, do the webinar all over again, and you can record it. And then you come in for the opening and closing with your local distributor or for your local reseller or whatever. Then you can do more. Then you're very different from other steel guys, right? Okay, so I hope because it's a stand-up brainstorming, this is what I have in mind. You got to think about the webinar, very long, 1 hour or 1/2 hour, but you got to get the practitioner to come in and reinforce whatever you want to do. And of course, this is the best time to get some feedback, get some survey in. All right. And I think that survey is good. I tell you why it's good. Send a press release to the press saying that you done this survey and you're willing to be interviewed. All right. Not only F&B affected, hair salon affected, e-commerce, the steel industry is also affected, and then here's why. And maybe you can suggest here's how we think can revive the whole thing again when things are back to normal. What are we gonna do? If you have that, then you are at the forefront of the business leader. You may not be the first guy, but post-COVID, you'll be first off the gate. I can promise you that.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your advice.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Any other questions that you might have? Tom, feel free to speak or to pose a question. All right.
Yeah.
Anybody?
So, anyone?
Andrew.
Don't be shy.
Yeah.
Free consulting.
I think Evelyn, right? I mean, you've been probably taking over the family business for a while. You could do some research. I think research is important. Maybe some field research with your family members, right? As to the habits, the behavior of the buyers. Okay. I always use this example of the Rolex watch wearers. I always use this example. Okay, so like Rolex tends to always sponsor golf events, golf competitions. and why, right? They have nothing to do with watch, nothing to do with anything, right? But it's always associated. So think about what kind of behavior are these buyers, your type of customers, right? And with that, sometimes you can curate content for them or encourage them to want to join in. So it really depends on the industries. Sometimes if it's a very traditional industry where all the buyers are very old, and you ask them to do Zoom, you do a webinar, sometimes they're like, what's this, right? Yeah, you're nodding your head, right? So we might want to understand the profile a little bit, profile them. I think go by profile, what sort of age group they are in, who are the decision makers, and what sort of behavior do they have, and then the type of content match to what they like to hear, right? Then you can also do the survey like Andrew said, post out a survey. But if they are very traditional, old, you give them a survey link at the issue. So maybe just give them a call, do your field survey from there, what you like to discuss. Can we have a meeting? And then you can invite some of your stakeholders. It's an educational session, just talk about things and to network. I think if you have a webinar session, also give people an opportunity to network with others in the industry. I think this is great time, which Andrew pointed out also is about collaboration, right? Where are the Avengers, right? Get the different characters together, and yeah, do wonders during this period. Collaboration is very important and key right now. That's my opinion.
Thanks, okay, thanks Renee for sharing. You inspired another point in me. I want to illustrate just now what I say. I think for certain people, they are resistant to change, and this is a time when you offer technology enabler, maybe totally out of your scope. But if you do that for people who are struggling, there are a lot of business owners who have a lot of pride. They can't catch up, but they don't want to say they can't catch up.
Totally understand. Yeah. They can't catch up. They don't know how to digitalize, but they just don't want to move. Whatever grants you give is not going to work as well.
They are so blurred. They don't know what they are blurred at also. So I think at the end of the day, you have to help companies who are at the bottom of the curve to be up to speed in some ways. I think by doing that, you are helping business to survive. Because if we are just focusing on the low-hanging fruit, these people, they have a lot of other people to be attracted to. But the bottom rung, they need people to help them. And if you are there to help, and you look young, I'm sure you are savvy in many things. Teach them this. Teach them how to do marketing. Teach them new age marketing. Right now, I think this is the best service you can ever give to them. It's so that they don't need to know how to sell. They have been in business for a long time, right? They just want to know how else can I do with technology. So what you need to give value is the technology, and it's very true. You need connect. So I think LinkedIn is one way. Sometimes you need personal touch. You need to talk to these people, and you know what? You just go to LinkedIn Navigator. You just key in the word steel, manufacturing, valve, pipe, or whatever. The last 30 days, who has posted something about those words, and everything come out. So these are people you can invite on your webinar, even invite to be your panel. That's all I have to share to you. All right, we got another question, right?
Yeah, it's about premium instant coffee. I have some ideas in my head. So, so not everything must be webinar, right? It depends on your target audience. And maybe Caroline, right? Could you share, this is a B2B or a B2C business? When you say premium instant coffee, are you selling to retailers or you're selling to consumers?
We sell both, consumer and also retailer.
Wow, okay.
Oh, wow.
So it's a hybrid process, which makes it more complicated. I think you can do novelty event. Still use a webinar concept, but your virtual engagement tool comes in. So for example, you can organize a coffee session. Everybody bring some coffee. All right. You want to join this Zoom, everybody bring coffee, and you got to have games like Quizzy to test how well you know coffee. And then from the gaps, then you open up those gaps and put in the content. That means they're telling you, we don't know this area, you talk about this area. Think it's fine. You can likewise do it for wine, any type of beverages, hard liquor, whatever it is. It is very fun because everybody cannot drink with anybody. Now, at least I drink coffee alone together with everyone, right? So, but for your reseller, I think you can do roughly the same thing as what Evelyn can do. But I think it's also like what Renee said, it's about brainstorming or everyone that you invite to the webinar or sorry, the meeting. It's not cast live. Everybody must be told the agenda. This is how I do it once, okay? Everybody must come with one lobang, one strategy that you never shared before. It works for you. You must come prepared to share. If you don't, we kick you out. All right? You have nothing to share, we just kick you out. Everybody must come and share one thing, and everybody can come and ask for one thing. I think that is more important. That is more important because you establish to be the brand. You need to lead the way. A lot of people are lost. So coffee is very interesting. A lot, you got a lot of coffee, and then you can stream in a lot of videos about the B-roll of what you're doing, right? So it's very, very. I'm sure Renee has other strategies.
Yeah, I have a lot of ideas. Come on. I mean, coffee is so interesting. It's a consumer good, right? If you do B2B method, I mean, if it's a B2B webinar, then of course you could bring in retailers in your panel, like a retail panel, all your coffee sellers come together, you have a discussion, and your target audience are all the coffee retailers. That's one. If it's B2C, you could do interesting things which you can double up, right? You can do the webinar, you record the webinar, it goes on YouTube, it goes into your social media pages as well. And it's about, for example, a coffee recipe making, right? And now what's in thing? In thing is what? Dalgona coffee, right? You see on TV people whipping the cream and then putting it in. You have this kind of sessions where you can educate people. At the same time, they can do try and error. And then you can create this session where, oh, everybody have to do hands-on. Let's get it going. You're going to have the recipe and everybody has to do this, okay? Or you could do like a research, like brands, when they come up with different types of products, they do market research. And you could say, okay, those people who come to my class, after which you're going to have free coffee delivered to you, because they can't do the tasting right at that time, right? You can't meet, but you could deliver your coffee to them. I think that's great. And when you deliver the coffee, the first thing they say, okay, what this brand, right? How so different? You already shared during the webinar. If they like it, you're going to increase their purchasing via online. If you have e-commerce, it's so much faster for them to transact online. Yeah.
I learned something from one guy who do wine appreciation. You know what he did? He actually sold an online wine course, virtual course, and he packaged it on e-commerce. He got 6 bottles of wine. So you take a course, you must buy the set of wine. So everybody delivered to their house, and on that day he will ask everybody to open up the wine in order. So that is one way you can actually do it. And you know what? When they're doing it, everybody do Instagram live. Everyone do live. Everybody use the same hashtag. Everybody take picture of the webinar. Can you imagine? Even if 10 people join a webinar, 1,000 people could be watching outside and join you. So always combine two things. And as well, Ong actually had a great idea. Don't do one person. Don't one person do. Invite everybody. If today I tell you, if this is stream live, I tell you everybody go to your Facebook, share this video. I tell you 20 shares already, and that will make the brand travel further. So don't just think about the event per se, think about the marketing of the event. Even when the event is going on, the marketing will stop there. So yeah. So don't neglect all the chat. I think everybody has a wisdom, and I draw on the wisdom of your comment, and I want to add on a little bit. I think this is a high energy session. I think we all need that.
Yeah. And B2C is great, now that the wet markets, right? Some of them, they can't really operate, okay? They've been selling your seafood and your fish, your meat in the wet market. They can't really operate, so what do they do? I mean, recently in the article as well, this vendor who sells mutton meat, right? So he's doing all his live sessions, right? And he's getting people to order through his Facebook Live, so he could showcase the different products. And when people order, they just ship, they just pack it nicely, and then you can have your branding. Previously you don't even care because it's just a store. You give them the red plastic bag, you throw, and that's it, right? And there's so many stores, and then it's like a very lay long thing. But this time, if other vendors are not doing so, and it's only you, everybody will just come to you and they love to see what you have in store for them today, right? So these are some of the creative ideas that you might have, especially for B2C business. Really interesting.
I want to ask Caroline, are you all active on Instagram?
Yes, we do.
Oh, that is great. I think double down the effort, do more live, do more IGTV, and encourage everybody in the seminar to do the same thing. You'll be awesome.
Yeah, just as a little bit shy to do live and all this thing, but
Yeah, don't
definitely
worry.
will do lah. I like the idea of Dalgona coffee because I'm very good at it. So I plan to have one Dalgona coffee session with the friends and our clients. So
Come on, just invite us, right? Invite us, and then maybe ship some free coffee for us. We're game for that.
can. Thank you.
No, you can invite me. I can take a lead of getting people in action. Don't need to be shy. This is not the time to be shy already. Yeah, not the time to be shy. And this is a period. The world will never be the same again. And even if COVID is gone, everybody will learn a new way of doing things. So we must all be ahead of the curve. Yeah.
Okay, great. Any other questions here?
One more.
One
What?
more question. Brand, yeah. You can go to her screen. I think on her backdrop you could see her brand.
You are
Yeah.
you're so shy to say out your brand. But it's okay to say your brand here because we are doing brainstorming. All right, unless you don't want to.
Yeah, fragrance expert. So Isabel, you're into fragrance. You're selling fragrance products, perfume, that sort of thing, I suppose. Niche beauty and fragrance. I see. Okay. Yeah, I think it's great for women, right? Let's say retailers and also B2C. Yeah, we've got two angles there. Okay, same method can apply.
Has a very good point. Paul says, as long as you solve people's problem, and then the market don't have to search. You don't have to search for the market. I want to add a little bit to that is you have to save today's problem. The problem in context now. I think if you can have an answer or some tips for people, I think people will drawn to you. So it's a lot of attraction marketing. And marketing automation is just a technology to make a life easier. You have to worry about your brand first. If you treat people like a funnel, people can treat you for fun. So don't just treat people as a funnel, treat them as your network and your tribe. Today is about building tribe. So personal branding is very, very important. Yeah. You need to stand out and represent your brand. Nobody follow company, to be honest. People only follow another person who is an inspiration leader, especially during now.
Right. You're talking about personal branding. You're an expert. Yeah. Okay. I mean, I'm conducting one session tomorrow, which is like a proper workshop. It's a series. All right. Every Fridays, right? It's a series, but it's a workshop that you could sign up for. That's also personal branding and LinkedIn profile, right? How you could fire up and do better, right? So you're right. I mean, nobody just buys the brand unless it's so strong. Unless it's so strong, people don't care. But if you're a new brand, why should people buy from you, right? Many a times, right, in the organization, especially SMEs, you realize that you can have many salespeople. And then you realize that, if it's the same amount of effort, some salespeople do much better because the way how they carry themselves, the personal branding is different from maybe the rest. And therefore you see different results as well. So it goes, the same goes for brands, right? So if a few new players come into the market, why would some people buy more from a certain person than the other? So you gotta be, you have to play up a little bit on your personal branding as well, and increase your network. Okay, great.
Can you provide me email?
Yeah, I'm sure you can.
Okay, I'll give you my Gmail.
Okay, so any other questions? And can you guys type in what are some of the topics that you would like to hear from us subsequently, after today's session? Because we do this every 2 weeks. And it may not be just about marketing, business strategies, financing, capital raising stuff, and things like that. Can you type in what are some of the topics you would like to learn from us? Okay.
Recently, I organized an online virtual concert, and the concert has more participation, more engagement, more viral than any of my seminar I have on webinar. If you can do something in music, like coffee and music, if every musician that you invite to do two pieces of live with the coffee in front of them, I tell you, you know how strong is the branding? It's almost like those gamer, you know, those esports guy, all right, playing their game and then you put your product in front of them. It's exactly like this now. So tweak again, you don't need to always give info. You can give relaxation, entertainment. It is a proven one. I can tell you. You have music now.
Hey, you
You,
didn't invite me. What concert was that? Can you hold another one?
I send you guys a link later on. It is a five musician. Each one play two piece. We didn't have any singing, but we got violinist, we got keyboard, we got flute, we have guitar. So because everywhere is knowledge, right? Where's entertainment, right? The only other guy that always do it is Jeremy Montero, right?
Oh
Right?
yeah.
With his Yeah, but what about the rest? So musicians are by nature they're not marketers. So if you ask any musician friend, I'm gonna have dinner, can you come? They will say yes, market. And you know what? You will fill with people who wants to come and listen to music.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. So, we talk about entertainment, right? So, what I realized also when we are sharing our posts, um, you know, educational posts, serious posts, if it's on Facebook, Instagram, okay, the kind of engagement is okay. But given COVID-19, right, people want some form of entertainment. They want something soothing, something not so serious, not so scary, not about job loss. That kind of news. It's way too much this season. People just want to relax. So what are some of the content that you can help? And I tested, right? When I share as a personal profile, when I share something serious, it only works well on LinkedIn. So on LinkedIn, people say, hey, are you the KOL of LinkedIn? But it's not purposeful. On LinkedIn, I'm a bit more, okay, serious stuff, it works well. But with the same content, it goes on Facebook, on Instagram, it doesn't. It kills, right? But if you start doing something fun, like, just sing or play music and things like that, and people start to get engaged. So
Mm.
you need to understand the purpose of what you do, and it shows a lot. It is personal branding as well, right? It's just another side of you. What's your side, with coffee, right? You like to play games? Would you like to, do
Yeah.
something that you like? It's your pastime, a hobby, and people would love to understand and know more about you as a person. I think things have
Uh,
changed.
yeah. I think Renee, Evelyn has a question.
Mm.
From Since you're talking about coffee and a virtual concert, how can I do sports with concert? What kind of sports are you talking about again? Are you selling equipment? Are you an aerobics instructor or what? Can you
Rock
elaborate
climbing,
so that
right? Is it rock
Yeah,
climbing?
like rock climbing or even like yoga. Right now, I guess what we do, because we can't do rock climbing, we can't go swimming, right? I guess right now it's a lot of home workout. Right now, what we distributing is a lot of home workout.
Okay, so I'm going to tell you one virtual activity that I have done. Get 20 people, each think about a routine exercise. Call it a virtual circuit training. So everybody do a exercise. So you got to set a camera further back. You're in your gear. You have your yoga mat, and everybody think about exercise. Everybody do 1 minute. Then you rest 30 seconds, and another person will do another minute. So you can do a sport, and after a while, all will join in because they need to work out together, right? And then the leader must cast it on the big screen so that you show everybody. No, a lot of people are joining. So the first guy who do it, the leader must have a big screen behind, maybe a 65-inch TV or whatever. And then you can do that. More people are joining because people either want entertainment or they want workout. They have a lot of other stuff already. So this is one thing I can share to you. Of course, not everybody can go out there and find a rock to go and climb. That would be impossible. So it can be skipping, it can be push up, it can be sit up, it can be a yoga pose or whatever it is. Just do something different and then you record it. I tell you, the next round more people are joining.
Oh, thank you so much for the idea. Yeah, definitely would like to try that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe you could share that event. Maybe whatever events can share it in the WhatsApp group as well. I think that would be interesting. And I'm just curious, are people starting to use TikTok? because you guys are into B2C, and I see brands coming out or individuals coming out doing TikTok, and it's working pretty well for them, and they are getting followers. Anyone's using TikTok here? If you are, just put a yes, but active, not looking at people's posts, but you don't post anything. Because on TikTok, right, people do crazy stuff. So like Evelyn, right, you do like your sports stuff, but it's very short. The longest you could go is 60 seconds, right? But you can do something creative. When you say rock climbing, the first character that comes to mind is Spider-Man. I don't know, you have a female version of a Spider-Man you can be. I think you'll get a lot of following on TikTok. And then from TikTok, you share the video on Instagram. Yeah, I think that it will work on those platforms. Yeah.
Hey, always remember, if you do high impact training, webinar, record it, and then make it into a course so that people can follow way after, so you can make an impact. And of course, you can brand that series 1, series 2, series 3, You can have one for all the PMATs, another one for all the teenagers, another one for all the working mothers, another one for... So you got different segment. I think it's very, very interesting. Yeah. Yeah. And then you can make it a national event, just like Dick Lee, right? Yeah, we can have many, many Dick Lee, but we don't have to sing and we can do a lot.
You're right. We can host an event and then everybody just go viral and, share and all that. Interesting. Yeah, pairing is very important. So Isabel has a point, fragrance and tea profiling, cheese and wine, so pairing is possible. So think about who are the type of people that you can partner with, like Dalgona coffee with cake, right? How do you make a Milo cake? Very easy. 3 ingredients and that's it. Right? You do a demo. So yeah. Any other questions before we...
The time is 1:15 almost. So if you have questions, this is the time, because I think we need to wrap up very soon, right?
Yeah, that's right. Okay, last question. Anyone before we wrap up?
I realized we didn't talk about social media analytics at all.
Maybe you want to share a pointer or two on the social media analytics. I shared my slide on that one, but if you have any things to add.
3 statement. Analytics is only good if you have enough data to decide what's the next course of action. Most of the analytics are on vanity analytics. How many people like, how many people comment. Now these are good, but are they enough to tell you what you need to do next? Because every platform, Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, Twitter, even YouTube, they have their own analytics already. So unless and until you invest in a system like Renee, you can see everything. All right, you have to decide how much of a component, how much of your sales are coming from social media. So if you sell a lot of coffee, when you post coffee images or video, then it might be worthwhile to invest in it. But with social media, just to gain interest, to point back to your e-commerce site, then maybe your analytics should focus on Google Analytics, where you track the visitor behavior on your site itself, not on social media. So you got to weigh that before. Yeah, and it's an expensive exercise, all right, with very little ROI, to be honest, because nobody can tell you how much they make from social media. All right, even people who claim they make money on social media, they make money on training about social media on social media. So that should be excluded. All right. And don't get me wrong, I love social media. I've been teaching it for 12 years. My first book 10 years ago was social media. But I can tell you, until today, there's no tangible ROI. And I want to put the word out there. There's no tangible ROI. It makes you feel good. If you're working for a big company, you can show the statistics to your boss. Okay? But if you're the owner itself, ask yourself, you cannot survive on likes and comments and hashtagging. You have to do something tangible.
And Andrew, I realize some of the traditional businesses, right? They don't even have a website. And then they say, okay, I only have my Facebook link. Here it is. And they're selling on Facebook. I mean, the Facebook is like a shopping platform for them already.
Every business on social media, if oil and gas, you can forget about it. You just do
B2B you can. B2B you can. Yeah, B2C more likely.
B2B, you need LinkedIn, you need a lot of personal scheduling, so your sales team got very expert. So go to Zoho. Zoho has a lot of apps, to help you to automate, and then I'm sure they are all integrated. So you can start small, and then you learn from there. And always seek 5 person to be your mastermind group. Don't do things alone. Very lonely, you know. Many such sessions actually make you feel better. So that's all. Yeah. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you so much. Yeah, thank you so much, Andrew, for sharing with us today. Really appreciate it. Your next concert, you gotta invite me. We can co-organize something fun. I don't mind. Okay, so before we wrap up, I'm just gonna share that just a reminder that our next session is on the 21st of May. Okay, so the topic is on omni-channel marketing strategies. Okay. It goes the other way. Okay. So, yep. And this is upcoming Virtual Hash Asia Summit. So we have interesting people from Faith, V Resorts, Tricycle, Golden Gate Ventures, SME Corp, One Esports, Yankee Logistics, and many others, and many more. I mean, we've got YouTubers, we've got Instagram influencers, and things like that on both 17, 18 June. Feel free to register. Okay. And do stay in touch, right? We've got a Telegram channel. So that's Hash Asia. So you could find us there. And then you could introduce your business and things like that. We also hope that even after today's session, everyone could continue to network and create opportunities for businesses collectively. All right. So you can take a picture of this one. And I look forward to seeing you on the next session. Thank you so much, guys. And yeah, keep in touch. Stay safe. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Renee. Thank you, Andrew.
Thank you, Caroline.